You are here again on this Saturday with XRPJD. We have made it to that fabulous Easter weekend. I hope everyone has had a productive week and y'all have gotten this weekend started with a bang. Now, let me just start by saying this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Please be safe in this market and use your best judgment, okay? Now, let me just tell y'all real quick. Yesterday, I wanted to come and bring y'all some content and drop some fire information, but I just couldn't get my thoughts together. I just couldn't. I don't know if it's called speaker's block or what, but I just could not get my thoughts together to bring y'all any content. So yesterday I decided to just chill, put my microphone down and just chill. I had a great evening, just relaxing and chilling and getting some rest. I actually got me a nap, which I'm not able to do often, so that was great. And I just said to myself, hey, let me just not think about doing any content. Let me just get some rest, relax, and let me just let my thoughts just flow a little bit, right? So I did that, took me an amazing nap, and then late last night, I was like, okay. My thoughts finally came together, y'all. So here we are on this Saturday. Now, I have a big topic to discuss. And that topic is the next bull run will be massive. The next bull run will be massive. And I'm going to tell you why in just a minute. But first, let's just take a look at the market. So the market today, y'all, is at 2.32 trillion. Okay, we got the CMC 20 at $138.89. Fear and greed index at 30%. Alcon season, as you can see here, 37 out of 100. And I would say the last 24 hours, we have had some downtrend. Actually, we kind of just trading sideways right now. I believe the last 48 hours, if we look at the 7-day right here, so like the last 48 hours, we've had some actual pullback, which y'all know how I feel about pullback, right? I never get scared. I never get fearful. When this fear and greed index is down here, right around 30 to 50%, that's when I like to buy. When everybody else is afraid and fearful, that's when I like to get bullish and I like to buy and accumulate. So I just been kind of watching things. Market's kind of flat today on the hour, as you can see. Market not really doing too much here recently in the last few days. But that doesn't mean the market is going to sit here and wait for you forever, right? And that's why I say the next bull run will be massive. And let me tell you one reason why I say that. We're gonna just take a look at some assets, and we're gonna take a little trip back in time here, y'all. I'm gonna take you back. Here we have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is sitting at 67,324 right now. But if we look back, I'm gonna take y'all back to kind of like when I first entered the market, right? This was kind of late 2019, early 2020. This was during that world crisis that I'm not going to mention the C word. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it was during that time. So if we look, so here we are. Let's get on into 2019. Right here, I believe this is where, okay, this is March of 2020. But if we come back here, around this time, January, February is when I started to take a serious look at the market, right? And like I told y'all before, with XRP especially and a lot of other assets, I just kind of stared at this stuff for like a couple months, y'all. I didn't really start buying until like over here in like May, June, into July, and then on, so on. But if we look right here, this is where, okay, we are in January of 2019. Y'all, look at the Bitcoin price in January of 2019. Okay, it's down to $3,800. All right. Well, if we come over here, okay, this is where I wanted to get to right here. So let's go to late 2019, early 2020, where I said I entered the market, or I started kind of looking at this stuff, right? If we look right here, this is February, and look what happens to Bitcoin in March of 2020. Takes that dip back down to those low levels, 3 to 5K, right? But if we look over time, going into 2021, 2022, look at this. Look what happened to the price. Okay. This is when I started really paying attention. Actually, this is when I started buying XRP. Okay. I had not really diversified myself much yet. But I was just so hyper focused on XRP because it was the main asset that I was following and researching at the time. But I was kind of looking at these prices and I was wondering, why is Bitcoin, I mean, the whole total market was down, but Bitcoin and Ethereum was the only one that had high prices. And I'm like, wow, why are these two assets the only two assets that are like taking off, right? We got the 2020, as you can see, summer of 2020 right here in July, prices started to kind of take off, 9,000. Then we hit here, 10,000, right? And then the Bitcoin just started to uptrend right here, right? This was 2021. So all 2020, late 19 into 2020, everything looked glim. Everything looked bad, like it looks right now, like the market looks right now. The market looks similar to me. The market looks similar now to where it was then in 2020 going into 2021. But here's what I want you to pay attention to. And this is why I say the next run will be massive, because look what happened in 2021. Boom. Look at this. Look at this move on Bitcoin. Boom. All the way up to 60,000. Okay. Now we're going to go back and let's just look at some other assets. Let's look at Ethereum. Okay. Here's Ethereum. Same thing. 2020, around $200. And then as we got into 2021, look what started to happen. Boom. Okay. Up here to $3,000. So it went from down here, from in the hundreds of dollars, to into 2021 into the thousands of dollars. And we just started to kind of create some new highs here. All right. Now let's jump over. Let's jump back. Let's look at XRP. All right. So XRP 2020, y'all, and this is when I did my most accumulation of XRP back here, y'all. Look at XRP at 27 cents. Y'all, when I say those times were so lovely, I hate they're not here anymore, but I'm thankful for the uptrend. I'm thankful for the market progressing. I'm thankful for everything that's happening in the space with the infrastructure and the plumbing being built within the financial system. I'm happy for that. But back here, y'all, was a time to be alive for accumulation. Okay. So yeah, as I said, and I know I'm coming with the energy today, y'all, but I've had like 2 cups of coffee and my thoughts are flowing and we are just rocking and rolling here. Okay. So stay with me. But like I said, XRP here now. The difference with XRP is in 2020, XRP was hit with the lawsuit, right? And if I'm not mistaken, that happened right around this point. So here we go. So December 19th, 2020, okay, XRP started to see some uptrend. And let's see. There was a high here, 51 cents. I can't find the high that hit right before the lawsuit. But however, during this time, around December, the XRP was hit with a lawsuit by the SEC, right? But if you look, even through the lawsuit into 2021, look what happened to XRP. Boom. All the way from down here to 20 something cents into 2021, boom, up to almost $2. Okay. This was exciting, y'all. In 2021, this market went absolutely insane. If we look at Solana, same thing. And I was actually really impressed with Solana during this time, because as you can see, let's go back here. As you can see, I mean, look at this, y'all. Look at this. In November of 2020, look at Solana, $2. And this is what I'm saying. If you think an asset like all the low value assets that are going to have a major role in the new financial system that are really low value right now. When I say low value, I mean under $5, under $1, those levels right now, right? If you think that those assets are going to stay at those levels, you are being naive, because look what happened to Solana in 2021. Okay, here we are, December 24th of 2020. Look what happened. We're just going to follow the trend here with Solana. Look what happened. Look what happened. Boom. All the way from $1.50 as we get into 2021. Look what happens, y'all. Boom. $43. Okay. We come back down. We came back down a little bit. Okay. Because the market always pulls back. Okay. Nothing goes up in a straight line. Okay. This is not financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor, by the way, but nothing will ever go up in a straight line. This market will just never go up in a straight line, right? So you always have that pullback when you have those major uptrends. So we pull back here some, but look what happened towards July into August of 2021 with Solana, y'all. Boom, $187. And y'all, this is when the market back here in 2020, 2021, this is when the market was still based on mostly pure speculation, right? There was no adoption. There was no institutional adoption. There was no Clarity Act or regulatory framework being built around this market. This market was still just really early and really young and really, really volatile, really, really questionable. If you wasn't following and wasn't getting educated and didn't know how much of a critical role that this asset class would play in the new financial system, it just was really, really just speculation, right? Back then. So that's why I say now, our next uptrend, our next bull run will be massive. All right. Let's look at some other ones. If we look at Hedera right here, okay? Let me make sure I'm on the all chart. Okay, I am on the all chart. Okay. Hedera has always kind of just stayed down in the low cents. But as you can see here, 2020, I mean, Hedera was at 3 cents, y'all, back here in 2019. As we can see, we come into 2020, right? Coming to 2020, we get up to 4 cents, and then look what happened 2021, y'all. Boom, all the way up here to 40 cents. From back here, from sub 5 cents into 2021, we get that major lift, creating that new high up into the 30s and 40 cents for Hedera. All right. Another one I want to take a look at is Internet Computer, another one of my favorites. So let's look at it on the all-time. if we look back here, right? Let me see. Here we go. Let's go back to the all. See if I can find that high for internet computer. Okay, so 2020 down here. Oh, this is actually 2021. But however, I saw internet computer. Internet computer went from, oh yeah, there it is. Okay, no, that's downtrend. But however, internet computer went from under $100, I believe, all the way up to like $650 during this 2021 run. You couldn't see it there, but trust me, I was watching it. I was there. I've been in this market since 2020, and it happened, y'all. So internet computer is another one right now that I'm accumulating and looking at. And it also is going to have some vital use case and utility within the new financial system with computing. As you can see, the name right there, internet computer, anything that is involved heavily with the internet. The internet is the biggest tech infrastructure out that we know of right now. So if it's attached to that, I'm researching it, I'm following it. If it makes sense, I'm buying it. Okay, I'm accumulating it. But yeah, so a lot of these assets, like I said, y'all, a lot of these assets went bonkers in 2021. And we haven't had a real bull run like the 2021 bull run yet. We were supposed to see that into 2024 with the Bitcoin halving. You know, there was a lot of speculation around the Bitcoin halving that, oh, when we have this Bitcoin halving, the market's going to go up, everything's going to go crazy. But that didn't happen. It actually went the opposite way. Okay, 2024 into 2025. I mean, we had a slight uptrend, I believe, in the fall of 2024 through the fall, kind of into 2025. But as we got into 2025, things just got really, really ugly. Okay, and we had 2025 just wasn't good. But that does not discourage me because, as I have said, y'all, time and time again, I know what I am looking at here with this new asset class. This is a new asset class, y'all. I know what I'm looking at with this new groundbreaking technology they call blockchain. All right. That is heavily integrated in the banking system and is continually to build infrastructure as we speak. All right. And we had a bad 2025, right? We get into 2026. We're like, oh, okay, well, maybe 2026, you know, we have a crypto friendly administration in office right now. You know, maybe we will start to see that bull run happen. Hasn't happened yet. So I'm speculating here, and this is only speculation, y'all. I'm only giving my opinion. This is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. Okay, please, 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 I advise you to do your own research. I don't advise you to buy nothing. I don't advise you to, you know, dump a bunch of money in this market that you don't have. I'm not advising any of that. Please be safe. Use your own judgment and do your research, okay? But I am just simply saying that I think I am speculating that this market has been suppressed and a lot of the assets like XRP that hasn't seen a real true altcoin run yet, and a few others like Stellar, Hedera, Agriland, Filecoin, XDC. All these altcoins have not seen a true run yet. I believe that these assets are primed to explode in the next run. That's why it is important right now, y'all, to get positioned while we are still at low bottom of the barrel levels. Y'all, stop playing. Stop playing, y'all. This is inevitable. Like I said before, if you do your research, you'll see that this asset class is being talked about and discussed at the highest level of government. It's being talked about and discussed at the highest level of banking. What more do you need? Okay, this is where all the major banks are parking their money. Okay, they're buying it, they're investing in it, they're helping build the infrastructure. The JP Morgans, the Goldman Sachs, right? The ETFs, that are being created, that have been created. The ETFs, they are diving into the ETFs. Okay, the stable coins, Ripple stable coin, RLUSD has already did over $1 billion. Y'all, this market, this tech is legit for the financial system. What more do you need? What more do you need? You shouldn't need any more proof, y'all. You shouldn't need any more proof. So what I need all y'all to do, if you're listening to my voice right now, I need you to use some logic, use some sense at everything that I talk about in my videos, and put it together and make it make sense to you and get positioned. Okay? Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just bringing this stuff to you. I'm bringing this information to you and just putting it in front of you. Okay? All right. Now, we're going to leave it right there for today, y'all. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of their weekend. I hope those Easter plans go well. I hope everybody maintains their productive path that they are on. And y'all, we just have to get motivated to change our lives financially here. This is the opportunity of our lifetime. And I love saying that because it's true. All right. Now, we're going to leave it right there, y'all. Remember, give me a like and subscribe if you sliding by the channel, you hearing my voice, you seeing my content. It don't take but a second, y'all, to press the subscribe button. It's free. The like button is free. All right. And y'all feel free to comment and talk to me too. I'll answer the comment. I do look at the comments. Okay. I do monitor the comments. So drop me a comment, drop me a nice message. Tell me how I'm doing in the channel. Oh, and by the way, y'all, real quick before I go, I failed to mention to y'all that I upped my tech a little bit. I upped my audio tech a little bit. I have an official microphone, y'all, now that I am using. Thanks to my lovely wife. She's always looking out for me. And she, has helped me flourish on my channel by buying me this ultra nice microphone that I was able to upgrade my audio. So if anything, drop me a comment and tell me how I sound now. All right. Now, till the next one, y'all.